At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Krueger here. It is Coffee with Krueger. I've got my coffee here. Ruth, one of the first to chime in here, saying good morning to everybody. Hope you have a fantastic day. I do need to mention here, I'm going to try to make this one a quick one this morning. I got to get my son off to school so he can get off to his cross-country meet. I tell you what, he's done an amazing job. Last weekend, he was in Mount Shasta out of, I think it was like 40, between 40 and 50 kids that he was racing against. He was like number 16 or 14 or something like that. He's doing an amazing job, so I want to make sure I can be out there to support him. Yeah, I got to get him to school earlier than normal this morning, so I'm going to try to get through Coffee with Krueger here pretty quickly so I can get him off to school. But I'm still going to make this effective for you, and we're going to start off with Krueger's Quickcast here. And for those of you that just want to get out the door this morning so you know what to expect, by the way, you can also check that latest forecast at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I also have your neighborhood forecast specific to your area, the Valley, Trinity County, the coast, North Coast, Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and the Eastern Mountains. And you can check that forecast for the day from those respective neighborhoods on the website and also from the free Weather NorCal app. Low 60s right now in the Valley, 30s for some of those higher elevations, 40s in the higher elevations, low 50s along the coast right now. The visibility is still rather low. Why? Because we've got that morning fog again. Taking a look at Elk Country north of Trinidad. Unfortunately, the camera is still down out there in Crescent City, but boy, you take a look at those visibilities, you can clearly see that we still have some fog, but that should burn off before the noon hour for most areas. Out the door this morning, of course, you got temperatures low 60s in the Valley, low 50s for the higher elevations, although Modoc County closer to the mid 40s. All right, let's take a look at Futurecast. So yeah, by noon, it's mainly sunny for everyone on the coast. I think some of that fog may kind of linger in some areas here, but for the most part, it's clearing out. Looks like that fog tries to revisit, especially the Eureka area, making its way down into the Highway 101 corridor here later this evening and tonight. But otherwise, clear skies here for tonight. Sunny and hot. Temperatures climbing a little bit warmer than they were yesterday. Low to mid 90s in the Valley. 70s, even some 80s for the higher elevations. Trinity County around 90, give or take. Inland areas around 90 as well. And we got those mid 60s for the coast. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for the Valley to start off with. Really, here's the bottom line. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the peak, upper 90s. Then temperatures drop a little bit here toward the end of next week. But really what we're seeing here is a mini roller coaster ride with the temperatures over the next 7 to 10 days. We're not seeing big spikes. We're not seeing big drops, just kind of varying from day by day. Now, it's getting warmer for the coast on Monday, Tuesday, around 70, but generally in the mid 60s. Inland, Trinity County, Mount Shasta, of course, Siskiyou County, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, all seeing that mini roller coaster ride. You can see there's just not a lot of change overall. And the other thing you'll notice is no rain in the forecast. And we're not seeing that anytime soon. So let's take a look at those fire updates and look at this. Now we're up to 96% containment with the Boise fire, which, by the way, I think I need to update the crawl there. I haven't updated that yet, so don't pay attention to the crawl there. That's at 90, what was it, 90, was it 96? Yeah, 96% containment. And then, of course, we take you out to the Park Fire. You are at 99% containment there. And here's the other good news, is that we do have 100% containment coming out of the Bear Fire. So that is awesome. This is one of those things I've been talking about over the last, I don't know, week and a half, 2 weeks, that really overall we haven't seen much change here, but now we're finally starting to see some progress when it comes to these fires. There, I think I've updated there in the background the crawl there, so you can kind of see that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at those winds this morning. You know, they're not that bad, but they should be picking up a little bit here as we take you into the noon hours. See the north and west side of the valley? A little gusty. Also a little gusty out along the coast as well. Now they should subside, but still a little breezy even for the valley, the north end of the valley in particular, and not, of course, the coast, seeing that as well. The humidity, well, yeah, it's going to be low. Most likely in the lower teens, even some upper single digits in there, but it's going to be dry for the valley and, of course, the mountains. Look at that shot looking at Lake Oroville. You see the birds flying. You got the sun just barely coming up. Some beautiful colors. I could look at that all day, but we can't do that, right, Ken? We got to move on. Lake Oroville, North Forebay. There you can see, yeah, calm winds. Another beautiful sunrise picture there, although we're not looking at the sun at that one. Taking a look at Main Street Chico on Highway 32. Not a lot of traffic as we typically see this time of the morning here, but usually there's more traffic on Highway 99 at Neal Road. And another beautiful sunrise as the sun has just come up over the horizon there. We take you out to Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive in Reading. Looks like we don't have a lot of traffic out there. Well, today is Friday. We got our pet of the week. I was able to meet Ryder. And Ryder is about 1 year old and could use that forever home. Hello everyone, Mike Krueger, Weather NorCal. This is Pet of the Week. We got Katrina from Haven Humane Society, and it is Pet of the Week with Ryder. Now, Ryder, you say, is a youngster.
Yeah, he's only about a year old.
Okay, so definitely pretty grown though. I mean, you think he might get a little bit bigger?
I don't see him getting much bigger than this.
Okay.
We think he's pretty full grown, but he definitely still has a lot of the like puppy youthfulness to him.
Absolutely.
He's definitely a very active guy. He really wants to run around, wants to play, wants to be doing something. But he's a pretty friendly guy, and for the most part, pretty mellow for being so young.
Yeah.
I definitely think he's one that, you know, if he's getting the exercise he needs every day, he's one that's going to kind of just lounge around the house with you, hang out with the family. He's not one that needs, you know, something to do every second of every day.
And has his radar ears on. What's going on?
Always.
Going on everywhere. So that's pretty much, you think probably pretty good with kids?
Yeah, he's met some kids. I know we've taken him to PetSmart a few times because we do adoptions there throughout the week. Yeah. And he's been really friendly with everyone he's met there. And he's been really chill with other dogs as well, which is always nice.
That's always good. So good with dogs, good with kids. I mean, really, what more could you want from a pet? So if you're interested in Ryder or any of the other animals they have here at Turtle Bay, be sure to give the number on your screen a call. And they'll take care of you here at Haven Humane Society. Well, thank you so much, Katrina. Thank you, Ryder. I remember Jermaine this time. And we'll see you next week for Pet of the Week. I think I exited and said here at Turtle Bay. I meant to say, of course, Haven Humane Society. By the way, I just pulled up this website for you from Haven Humane Society. And here is Ryder's page. You can see this was posted over 3 months ago, so he's been there over 3 months, but they did update his information from about a week. You can, of course, ask about him by clicking right there. You got some of the basic info here. He's a pit bull terrier. Is a male dog, about a year old, and medium size. I'd say probably closer to the higher range in that weight category, probably somewhere in that 50-pound range. Good with kids, shots are current, good with dogs, spayed, neutered, and of course good with cats. That's always good too. I know there are a lot of people that have their cats as well, so it's always good to have a dog. So he's ready to go home with you today and just ready to make you his forever home. All right, before we get to the main deep dive forecast, let's check in. Curtis, all good. I'm glad you had a nice, safe trip. Curtis, you'd mentioned you were going to the coast yesterday, and you got home yesterday from the coast. It was a short trip, but the weather was great. That is great to hear. I'm glad you had a good trip. It's always nice to just, even these short day-long trips, it's always nice. I just love getting away even for just a day. It's so nice. We got Norman Nelson. He is saying good morning this morning. Good morning to you, Norman. We've got Chappie. She is saying happy Friday. It's always happy, right? I think a lot of people smile when it's Friday. Most people at least have the weekends off. And we saw this earlier. The first to chime in this morning was Ruth Sanchez saying good morning to everybody. Hope you have a fantastic day. I know I will. And I hope you all have a fantastic day as well. Well, let's get to that deeper dive forecast. Of course, going to mention our sponsor of Coffee with Krueger, and that is Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. I want to thank Wind River for their support and all of our sponsors in general. It's always great to see that support. I love that support. Got to pay the bills here at Weather NorCal, right? All right, let's go and take a look at our current conditions out there right now. And you can see we're in the low 60s for most of us along the coast right now. There you can see, that's the valley. Wouldn't it be nice if we could kind of keep it in the low 60s all day? Because that's what we're going to see in the coast. But there you can see 63 degrees for Chico, 60 in Oroville, upper 30s, low 40s for most of the higher elevations. A bit of a temperature inversion. That's when we typically, when you go higher in the atmosphere and in elevation in general, temperatures tend to drop. But sometimes you get these little anomalies where the temperature actually increases. They call them temperature inversions, and that can happen. It looks like Shingletown is experiencing that. We see these inversions a lot around Paradise, for example. But there you can see about 37 right now for Alturas. No inversion there. 48 degrees for Mount Shasta City, and temperatures right now in the low 50s along the coast. So here's your headlines. We've got a warming trend into early next week. The first day of fall. Ah, yes. It's when we start thinking about all of the fall things, right? The spiced lattes, right? The pumpkin spice, everything. It's just that time of the year we start thinking about the pumpkins, and we're getting into that. But it's not going to feel like it because temperatures are actually increasing. And we're going to be looking at temperatures around normal, above normal for the first day of fall. But we have what I like to call a mini temperature roller coaster ride. That is, these temperatures over the next 7 to 10 days, they're just going to be doing a little bit of like this. No big variations in those temperature dips and swings, really. No major heat waves either. I don't see getting into the triple digits and lasting there for a long time. But there you can see the winds are fairly calm right now. As we go into the noon hour, still a little gusty, especially for the north and west side of the valley. A little gusty for parts of the coast as well. Later this afternoon, still a little breezy, especially the north here and into Shasta Valley for central Siskiyou County. Still some gusty winds even this afternoon and evening for the coast. But look at tomorrow morning. If you have anything planned tomorrow morning, do know, especially in the north and west side of the valley, it's going to be a bit breezy, a little windy out there to start off the day. You can see those gusts over 20 miles per hour. The winds are calming down a little bit for the coast, but as we take you into your Saturday afternoon, yeah, still a bit breezy, just calming down from what we're going to see here for Saturday morning, but still a little gusty out along the coast. Taking to Sunday morning, and there you can see, again, gusty winds to start off the day. So if you're going to try to take advantage of those cooler temperatures, do note, north and west side of the valley, a little gusty, especially out towards Crescent City Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, a little gusty for the coast. Still breezy for the north end of the valley in particular. So that is something we got to pay attention to because the humidity levels for today and tomorrow and Sunday, we're just going to see this gradual drop in the humidity levels. There you can see Saturday. Look at Sunday. The humidity levels dropping even more. So I'm going to pull this map out because I haven't had to really show it for the last several weeks, but now we're beginning to see more elevated fire weather risk. We're starting to see more oranges on the map. So we're in that moderate to high range here, especially for the north end of the valley here today. We take you into your Saturday, look what's happening. See how the northwest side of the valley, once again, that's where we're seeing some of those strongest winds. Temperatures increasing, humidity dropping, winds picking up a little bit at times, and that'll be the case again on Sunday too. So we still need to remember and remind ourselves that we're still in the fire season. And when it starts heating up, we're looking at dry conditions. And when the winds start to pick up a little bit, that can elevate that fire weather risk. So just be mindful of that when you're doing anything outside. We don't want to spark any new fires. All right. So lots of sunshine here. We're seeing a system kind of dragging up to our north. This is the system that was impacting us a couple of days ago. Now it's moving on out. High pressure is building in, and that's going to mean warmer temperatures. Now, the main thing I'm going to focus on is on the coast here for Futurecast because, yes, I think there could be some lingering fog at times and just some low clouds at times for parts around Eureka, Humboldt Bay, even into Highway 101 corridor. So 6 o'clock this afternoon, looks like the fog is going to try to return in that area. But really, for the most part, you'll see here for the coast, you are looking at mainly sunny skies here for today, for Saturday, and even Sunday. Again, some of that just trying to linger around the Eureka area in the afternoon and evening hours. Drier than normal is what we're expecting here when the Climate Prediction Center kind of looks that far out. But we look at the warming trend that we have So the cooler air that's down to our south, that's not going to be impacting us anymore. It's moving on out. Now we've got high pressure that is over the weekend. Just kind of hang out over the eastern Pacific, both Saturday and Sunday. And then eventually it'll nudge to the east for Monday, Tuesday. That's when temperatures increase even more. So from mid-90s for the valley over the weekend to upper 90s. So again, not a major increase. You may be hearing about, and have been hearing about the last few days, that some of the valley could see 100 degrees. I don't see it happening. I think it's going to be in the upper 90s. There's that ridge of high pressure right here. That will scoot off to the east. And the reason being, check this out, a nice deep trough of low pressure. It's going to stay to our north. It's not going to move over us, but it will move to our north over the Pacific Northwest. That is going to suppress that heat. There'll be another one coming in behind that. So as long as we have these storms to our north, that'll prevent the ridge from building very strong. And as a result, yes, it will be warm, but really close to normal for this time of the year when we look at the long range. But the Climate Prediction Center does have us in that warmer than normal category. But take a look at the 10-day trend for Redding. Yes, we're getting close to 100 degrees here by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. By the way, again, remember, Sunday is the first day of fall. We're going to be above normal. But then temperatures start to drop after Tuesday. The normal is about 92, and we'll just be hovering around that normal mark starting the middle of next week through that next weekend. Would it be nice to be in the 70s, 80s? Of course. But at least we don't have any major heat waves heading our way. The other issue, though, is we don't have any rain heading our way either. All right, so there you can see the wave heights. They're actually pretty high here this afternoon, and that'll be the case on your Saturday as well. So as of right now, through the afternoon today, there is a small craft advisory, but be forewarned that it's going to be a hazardous seas warning. It'll transition from a small craft advisory to a hazardous seas warning later on this evening, tonight, and into tomorrow. Look at the winds today. I mean, they're going to be around north at about 20, 25 knots, and they'll get even stronger. And then you can see those waves from the northwest at 8 feet at about 9 seconds. There's your high and low tide here for today. All right, so here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. So what you'll notice here is temperatures just kind of hovering the low 90s through Monday. We'll see a spike on Tuesday, back down low 90s for Wednesday, Thursday. Today, about 90 for the Highway 299 corridor, Highway 3, mid to upper 80s. One of the warmer spots out in Douglas City at about 93 degrees. 83 Forest Glen, 86 out in Roos. So some of your typical spots where we're seeing those cooler temperatures, yeah, in the 80s, but around 90 for places like Hayfork. We take you out to the southern Humboldt County, 75 degrees for Redcrest. Looks like Miranda, about 83. 87 degrees for Garberville, and Shelter Cove, about 73. We take you up north, out towards Ferndale, about 65. So you're going to start off with that fog. You're probably seeing it this morning, and it should burn off here as you get around the noon hour and afternoon. But there you can see around Arcata, about 65 today, 72 degrees for Blue Lake. And for the inland areas, temperatures going up, peaking around Tuesday, and then going back down for Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Let's take you up to the north, about 79 degrees for Smith River, 79 for Gas Key. There's Oric, about 70. And then taking a look at Crescent City, temperature around 70. So yeah, the coast looking at temperatures around 70 by the time we get into Monday, maybe even Tuesday, and then back down to low 60s by the time we get into Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, upper 80s, about 90 for Highway 96 corridor there, low to mid 80s for I-5. Temperatures are going to kind of hover around the mid 80s here, upper 80s though by the time we get to Tuesday. Wednesday, actually maybe a bit of a spike there at about 92, and then Thursday about 89 degrees. All right, let's take you out to Scott Valley. Temperatures in the low 80s for your daytime highs. Callahan 81, 83 for Greenview and Fort Jones, and Etna, a high today of about 82 degrees. And from Mount Shasta City, 80 degrees, 85 for Dunsmuir, McLeod about 84. We take you out to Modoc County. Yes, we're staying out of the 80s, very pleasant there. 78 for Canby, 78 for Alturas, and Newell, a high of about 76 degrees. All right, here's your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. So Bernie, there's your 7-day forecast. Looks like we're going to be around 80, 81 for today, tomorrow, 83 for Sunday, Monday, a spike on Tuesday, and then temperatures dipping again for your Wednesday and Thursday. Let's take you out to Lake Almanor, Lassen Park. Chester, your 7-day forecast is calling for low 80s, mid 80s here, though for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures generally in the 60s and 70s, though, for some of those highest of elevations. Otherwise, mainly in the 70s and 80s for the rest of us in the Eastern Mountains. Mineral about 77. Looks like Greenville about 80. Susanville topping out at 82 degrees. All right, here's your forecast for the valley. Temperatures are generally going to be in the low 90s for your daytime highs for basically Corning southward. As you head to Red Bluff northward, probably closer to the mid 90s. Although places like Lakehead about 91, 92 degrees for Whiskeytown, and Palisadro about 94 degrees. So let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding, and there's the first day of fall, the autumnal equinox. That will see a high of 97 degrees. We're talking upper 90s by the time we do get into Monday, Tuesday, and then a drop in our temperatures for your Wednesday and Thursday. All right, so there you have it, folks. Looks like we are going to see some hot weather as we take you into the weekend. And bummer, right? It's just been so pleasant when we started off the week, and now things are really starting to warm up. We have got Delinda here saying that she is watching the hot air balloon take off. And oh, yeah, that's right. That must be going off. Is it today? Is it today, Delinda, or is it going to be? I know it's over the weekend too. And I do know that it is weather related. If it's too windy, they can't go up. Let's take a look real quickly here before I got to go. But let's take a look here. Here, let's take a look at the winds. We're going to take a look at the winds for those of you that are maybe going out to the Montague balloon launch. I went last year. I'm not going to be able to make it this year. Up towards Montague. Look towards Wairika. So if they're doing it this morning, it's not that bad. If they're doing it tomorrow morning, let's take a look at tomorrow morning, say around 6 a.m. It shouldn't be that bad. This is just surface winds, by the way. But most likely that's going to account for as we go a little bit higher. They don't go too much higher in elevation. But yeah, should be okay. Looks like Saturday morning. The wind's not really picking up a whole lot even in the afternoon. And I don't think they're doing it on Sunday, but just for fun, we'll take a look at Sunday morning. Looks good. Again, you have to look up north towards the Wairika area. That's what we're looking at here as far as those winds are concerned. So, okay, so Sunday. So there's Sunday morning. Around 6 a.m. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. Thank you, Deborah. Today through Sunday. Okay. So yeah, that was the forecast. So let's one more time, now that we know, look up to the north between Wairika and Mount Shasta. Okay. So this morning, not bad. It does pick up, though, as we go into the afternoon. So, yeah, that's why they do it, hopefully, in the morning, because you don't typically see the stronger winds in the morning. Saturday morning looks pretty good. 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, you're okay. And then doesn't really even pick up a whole lot in the afternoon. Does, yeah, in the evening. And then you can see Sunday morning, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. Yeah, not bad. So it looks like, based on the wind forecast now, obviously they're always looking at the latest when they're there, but that's something they have to kind of keep a close eye on. So it should be interesting, to say the least. So yeah, that's a look at the winds here. That's kind of the big thing that we have to look at here. Brad Shaw is saying that heading to the Montague Weekend Balloon Festival last year was slightly disappointing due to wind. I don't think it was. I was there last year. I remember they all went up. I think it was the overnight showing that they wanted to do, and they couldn't do that because the winds were too strong. When they wanted to light up the balloons at night, but it was too windy, they couldn't do that. But the morning of, at least when I was there, I don't know if it was a Saturday or Sunday, but we went there, and it was beautiful weather, nice and cool, and they got all the balloons up. It was great. Let's see if there's anybody else mentioning it here. That's about it. All right, folks. Well, that is going to do it for us this morning. What do you say we call it a morning and get ready to get out there and enjoy the weekend? I know I am. I hope you are. I hope you've got some good plans, maybe with family or friends, or maybe a hike. If you are going to go on a hike, be sure to watch that. Be sure to check out the neighborhood forecast so you can check out wherever you're going, and you can check out that latest forecast. Well, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and pop up some cameras here as we wrap up the show. And I would love for all of you to make sure you have yourselves a great and happy and safe Friday and a happy and safe weekend. Until Monday morning, I will see you 7 a.m. on Monday on Coffee with Krueger. Have a great weekend.